It's a day of celebration, of faith, of family. But in the land where Jesus was born, it's Heartbreak Christmas. In the city of Bethlehem, the air is heavy with the smell of war. The iconic Manger Square is quiet and empty. There is no Christmas tree. There are no lights. There are no Christmas carols. There are no tourists. Instead, the city of Bethlehem, which now stands in the middle of a war zone, is marking Christmas with one message: solidarity with Palestine.
Bethlehem is a message. It's not a city. It's a message of peace to the whole world. From this sacred place, we convey a message of peace to all the leaders in the world, that there should be pressure to stop this war, to have the courage to say stop to the war, stop the blood, the killing and the revenge, where many lives were lost. 20,000 people is not a small number, as well as 50,000 wounded. That's enough.
This year, the nativity scene shows the Holy Family surrounded by rubble and razor wire. It's a harrowing, bombed-out version. It shows Jesus entering the world amid a pile of Gazan rubble. Normally, Bethlehem is busiest at Christmas, not this year. War has deserted the city. Since October 7th Hamas attack on Israel and the subsequent bombardment of the Gaza Strip, restaurants and store owners in the West Bank city say no one is coming. Jerusalem's Latin Patriarch Pier Battista Pizzaballa, while visiting Bethlehem on 24th, said the message of Christmas is not violence, it's peace.
It is a very sad Christmas. As we saw, there is no atmosphere of feast because we are in a war, terrible war, and our thought goes first and foremost to Gaza, to our people of Gaza, to all the people of Gaza, but special attention to our also Christian community of Gaza who is suffering. But I know that we are not the only ones suffering. 2 million are suffering without house, without hungry. They are hungry, unbearable situation, and we are here to pray, but also tonight to ask not just for the ceasefire. Ceasefire is not enough. We have to stop these hostilities and to turn the page, because violence generates only violence. And the message of Christmas is not violence, it's peace.
Today, Pope Francis lamented that Jesus' message of peace was being drowned out by the futile logic of war.
Tonight, our hearts are in Bethlehem, where the Prince of Peace is once more rejected by the futile logic of war, where the clash of arms that even today prevents him from finding room in the world.
The 87-year-old pontiff's message came hours after Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu vowed to fight deeper into Gaza. Pope Francis has made numerous appeals for a ceasefire in Gaza. He has also called for the release of all hostages held by the Palestinian militant groups. Hamas, as well as Islamic Jihad, are still believed to be holding more than 100 hostages. Both groups have sworn to Israel's destruction. Since Hamas went on a rampage on October 7th, Israel has declared war on the Gaza Strip. IDF forces have laid much of it to waste. More than 20,000 have died. Thousands more are believed to be dead under the rubble. The vast majority of Gazans, some 2.3 million of them, have been driven out of their homes. They are now living in catastrophic conditions. On Christmas Eve, the Israeli strike killed 100 people in the Maghazi refugee camp. It is located in central Gaza. And this was one of the deadliest nights for Gaza in war. As Gaza bleeds, people in Bethlehem are finding it difficult to celebrate. It is impossible when so many have lost so much, they say. The sentiment is shared by Syria. Here too, Christmas festivities have been cancelled. The Syriac Catholic Archbishop of Aleppo said, and I quote, "In Palestine, the birthplace of Jesus Christ, people are suffering. In Syria, we cancelled all official celebrations and receptions in our churches in solidarity with the victims of the bombing on Gaza." The Syriac Catholic Church was not alone. Leaders of 3 of Syria's major churches, the Greek Orthodox, the Syriac Orthodox and the Melkite Greek Catholic Patriarchs, all announced that they were cancelling Christmas festivities and limiting celebrations. Take a look. Before Syria's civil war erupted in 2011, the country was home to more than 1.2 million Christians. Of course, a huge number of Christians have fled since then. The conflict had dampened Christmas celebrations. But recently, festivities had picked up as the main front lines froze and government forces gained control of large swathes of the country. Still, the gloom prevailed in the streets of Damascus. Reports say Damascus residents read about the devastation of Gaza, and they just don't find it within themselves to put up Christmas trees. This year has been full of devastation. It began with the earthquake in Syria and has now ended with the Gaza war. Speaking of loss, it has been a challenging holiday season and even more challenging 2 years for Ukraine. Russia's invasion has brought tragedy and suffering, but it has also changed Christmas in the country. For the first time, Ukrainians are celebrating Christmas on December 25th. You see, it is supposed to be a snub to Russia. Most Eastern Christian churches use the Julian calendar, and according to this calendar, Christmas falls on January 7th. Western churches use the Gregorian calendar, which is used in everyday life, and according to which Christmas is celebrated on December 25th. Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky signed a law in July to move the celebration to December 25th. He said it will allow Ukrainians to abandon Russian heritage, and so the date change is a message of defiance. It is a part of hastened moves to remove any traces of Russia and Soviet empires. During the Soviet Union era, atheism was encouraged. Christmas traditions would take place during New Year's Eve, which became the main holiday. And after Russia's annexation of Crimea in 2014, the Orthodox Church of Ukraine formally broke away from the Russian Orthodox Church. The political rift has seen priests as well as entire parishes swap from one church to another. In Ukraine, the new Orthodox Church is growing fast. It is even taking over several Russia-linked church buildings. It is a move supported by the Ukrainian government. And so, on Christmas Eve this year, Ukrainians around the world voiced support for a Christmas date change. In Kyiv, worshippers packed at St. Michael's Golden Dome Monastery. It is the headquarters of the new independent church. They took part in the Christmas service led by the primate of the Orthodox Church of Ukraine. And while Ukrainians celebrated Christmas in defiance of Russia, in another part of the world, it brought with foreign influence concerns. In China, where Sinicization or the act of making everything more Chinese is the norm, Christmas is not a public holiday. In many parts of the country, extending the season's greeting is out of question. In some regions, shops have been urged to not sell Christmas cards or presents. Shopping mall tenants have been asked to refrain from hanging Christmas decorations. Why? You see, in China, where everything is controlled, there are concerns that all this is foreign tradition. It is widely accepted norm. Don't follow these traditions blindly. Be confident in your own culture, they say. So what's the solution? Schools in some Chinese cities are teaching students as well as parents do not follow foreign traditions. In the Gansu province of China, a local branch of the Communist Youth League has told members, celebrate the battle at Lake Changjin instead. It is a 2021 Chinese film. It depicts fierce fighting between the Chinese army and the US forces during the Korean War. So while China does not ban Christianity or forbid Christian worship, like all permitted religions in the country, Christianity is strictly managed and governed. But even in countries not afflicted by war, a wider, more palpable conflict looms, the climate conflict. This Christmas is the hottest in years. In the UK, authorities have declared Christmas Eve 2023 the warmest one since 1997. The temperature recorded on Sunday was 15.3 degrees Celsius. Now, that's not normal for the United Kingdom. Even here in India, people are ditching sweaters. According to the Indian Met Department, this winter will be warmer than usual for the entire country. The monthly maximum temperatures for December are likely to be above normal. As the earth overheats, the days of a snowy white Christmas could soon become a thing of the past. Yes, the alpine regions will deliver white Christmases, but the weather will become more and more unpredictable. Climate change is not only threatening winter wonderlands, it also affects Christmas traditions in warmer places. Take, for example, France, Italy and Germany. Reports say that global warming is slowly diminishing the likelihood of snow. But despite such tragic stories, it's not all doom and gloom. In the United States, surfing Santas rode the Christmas waves in Florida. This is an annual event now in its 15th year. Although the sun was missing, the waves were there and so were the surfing Santas. In Australia, the threat of wild weather wasn't enough to turn away crowds celebrating Christmas. At the iconic Bondi Beach, revellers gathered to celebrate summer Christmas. And in India, thousands joined in the celebrations and fervour and joy in Delhi, Mumbai, Chennai and Kolkata. So what should I say about Christmas 2023? Even amid war and conflict, the world is celebrating the festival. Perhaps that should be the only takeaway this year. May this Christmas be a reminder of that human spirit, that the only logic is peace and togetherness, not death and devastation.
WION World is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news updates on the move.